explosive.
Okay. Yep, the concussion was burst 1. I don't know how
Yeah, we
exactly
should.
that works.
Burst 1 is basically the rate of ammunition that's spent.
Okay.
That's the same with the rapid one. It's basically the amount of ammunition that was spent.
Okay.
But the rapid, it's basically almost like a trait, I think, if you want to call it that. Where, how did it say that? Oh, wait, one moment.
Rapid.
Burst 1, rapid 1.
Weapon property. Okay, so heavy, power cell. Rapid. When you would make a ranged attack with a weapon with this property, you can instead unload on a single target, consuming ammunition equal to the rapid number. The target must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, roll the weapon's damage dice twice and add them together. Oh, nice. Okay, add the relevant modifiers as normal. If you would have advantage on your attack roll, the creature instead has disadvantage on the saving throw. If you would have disadvantage on your attack roll, the creature instead has advantage on their saving throw. Okay, so yeah, the rapid just changes the. I mean, it changes the weapon property. Um, nice, that's cool.
So I'm going to
Oh,
actually add it to the concussion inside the weapon attack description.
okay.
Because it seems like that will be a considerable amount to add to that section. Um,
You're talking about just like too much information for that one thing.
yeah, well, I mean, the other one's going to be quite a bit of information too,
Mm-hmm.
but since it will mainly be necessary for
What
you
is
or
this?
I,
I think I'm just gonna make a new tab that just says weapon properties.
yeah, because that description bar for that thing is unfortunately rather.
Mm-hmm. It's quite
I'll have
small.
to extend. Yeah, I'll have to extend it a bit so that way it's
Mm-hmm.
somewhat readable.
Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna go from there, because special weapons is a whole nother thing. Okay. Weapon properties, control C, and then we're gonna plop that information into here. Burst. When you would make a ranged attack with a weapon with this property, you can instead spray a 10-foot cube area within range with shots, consuming ammunition equal to the burst number. Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw or
Are
take the
you must
weapon's
be
damage.
looking at a different location for burst because the burst I just looked up was 150-foot cube.
Let's see where I'm at. Oh, I'm actually I am looking at a different spot. Okay, I need to look somewhere else. I'm looking in the player's handbook, so this is probably
Yeah,
it's
I'm
more
looking
along
at
the
the ship
lines of.
handbook.
Yep. Okay. I'm looking at like weapons that you would wield. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I was actually luckily I was on that spot. So when you said it, I was like, that doesn't make good. That doesn't make sense, sir.
Yep. Alright, let me scroll down and I might have to weapons, primary weapons, secondary weapon properties. Yep. There it is. Okay. Yeah, 150 foot cube. Cool.
The concussions go.
Alright.
Now that I've got the one part done, let's see. It does a 2d8 for the energy. What? Okay, so explosive is something different. I need to put in energy for the initial. Explosive is it? Okay. So a 2d8 is the normal damage, and the 4d8 is the critical. Check. I
Weapons of
don't.
the
Maybe I
ammunition
might be a.
property. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so I need to go back to here. Or actually, no, I just went back to equipment. Yeah, as I scroll down a little bit, that's not as annoying. Good. Alright. So yeah, ammunition has to do with that range. So yeah, it's going to have a range. The concussion missile of 600 to 2400. Okay. Nice. So automatic was only fire in burst or rapid mode. Okay. Burst. A weapon that has the burst property can spray a 150 foot cube within range with shots. So it could just spray one missile in a 150 foot cube area. Each ship in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. Because the concussion missile has just the burst of 1.
So the concussion can burst in that 150-foot cube,
Okay. Yep.
and any ships inside the cube have to make that
Ooh.
saving throw.
Okay.
It's like shooting a shotgun or yeah.
Yeah. As it explodes. All right. So yeah. It takes no damage on a success. Wow. Okay. This produces an amount of heat or consumes an amount of ammunition as indicated by the burst number. Okay, yeah, uses 1 missile. If the ranged ship attack would have disadvantage, affected targets instead have advantage. It must be on the saving throw. Okay. What? I think can have Constitution. A weapon with this special property requires more hull structure to securely hold and use, and more cooling capacity to safely operate. When firing it, you have disadvantage on attack rolls unless you meet the Constitution requirement. Interesting. Dire. Before you make an attack with a weapon with a dire property, you can choose to suffer a penalty to the attack roll up to the dire number. If you do, and you hit with it, you gain the same bonus to the damage roll. Well, that's kind of like the barbarian gets a ability. I think it's reckless attack. I think is what it is. I think that's what it is. Where you can take a negative to hit. Yeah, you take like it's like a -5 or something like that. Maybe it's a -10. I think it's a -5 though, to actually being able to hit your target, but then in doing so you do a bunch of extra damage. Or like
Why
you,
am
I forget exactly what it is. I think it might be that other enemies have advantage when hitting you. I don't remember.
I not able to bring up more descriptive information on the missile launcher?
What do you mean? Like you can't type in it more?
I just typed in the search for a missile launcher, found it, and when usually when you
Oh,
when you click
yeah.
on it, it will give you more information, like a description or
Yeah, it doesn't do that on that. But
ammunition,
when
and
you
this
go
is
to the
reload
table,
4.
it'll show. So if you go under Starships of the Galaxy and then you go to Chapter 5 Equipment, about halfway down, there's a big table of the different weapons that are there.
Hmm. Yeah, that's where I had to go for the wasn't it around here? I had to go that far for the concussions.
hmm
What I'm seeing is that's the damage, so I'm wondering how it deals the attack. That's what I was trying to find out. So where it is, there's assault missile launcher, but that's not missile launcher. So how are we determining the attack of the attack damage? What did we say it was?
So
You have a
that.
DC equals 8 plus wisdom plus crew proficiency in here. And I'm just wondering how we
hmm
figure that. Because the wisdom is based on, I thought, most of the attacks or something like that. It was kind of weird with
So
ships.
yeah,
They're based off of a different method.
yeah. The to hit and the damage were two different stats. It was like strength and wisdom was how that was. Um, um, it's gonna be ship combat, making an attack. Okay, so when you make an attack with a primary or secondary weapon. Okay, well this is a tertiary. The concussion missile is a tertiary.
Yep. Well, the missile launcher itself is a tertiary.
Yep. It didn't mention anything there. So let's go back to here. Um, Combat. past that. Making an attack. Alright, let's...
Rather than attack rolls, tertiary weapons call for dexterity saving throws to avoid the weapon's effects. If the target fails the saving throw, they take the weapon's normal damage. On a successful save, they take half the weapon's normal damage.
Mm-hmm.
On a die result of 1, they treat the weapon's damage as if it had rolled the maximum. Ships 2 or more sizes smaller than you have advantage on the saving throw. Ships 2 or more sizes larger than you have disadvantage on the saving throw. First number in the tertiary weapon's normal range in feet, and the second number indicates a tertiary's long range. When they attack target within range, they have advantage on the saving throw. Attack a target beyond the tertiary's weapon long range. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Form missiles. Blah. Okay, so what we do here is then we don't write in rather than attack rolls, tertiary weapons call for dexterity saving throws to avoid the weapon's effects. So what they have to do is saving throw against the damage or something? Like, what do you mean? How do you do the saving throw?
So when you would declare that you're attacking with the concussion missiles from your missile launcher tube, and you got an area that you're attacking, those targets would make the dexterity saving throw. And then depending on the result of that, basically it's like throwing
how does
a
a
fireball.
saving throw? Well, that's what I'm wondering. How does the saving throw technically work? Like, if I'm throwing this out, I'm doing what, the damage, and then you're doing your saving throw against the damage itself. Because
Correct.
what am I?
So
Okay.
if you meet or beat the saving throw difficulty, then you take less damage or no damage in some instances. So as
So
opposed
the
to your skill in hitting the target, it's more based on their skill in evading your attack, is the idea.
okay. So then I'm just gonna leave the attack as 0, and just
Right.
put in the
The
damage as 2d8 plus wisdom. You have it as uh 8 plus wisdom plus crew
group proficiency.
proficiency.
Yep.
So do you want me to add it in as... No, that 8 is probably the 2d8, is what I'm guessing.
On the weapon save DC?
Yeah,
No, the 8 is
the
the
DC
baseline.
equals 8
Yep.
baseline.
Yep.
So do I
8
add
is
that in
8.
as a plus 8 to it?
No,
Okay.
because you're not making the attack. So this is to see if the weapon like hits. So yeah. So when they make the save, when they're making the save, it's a lot like if someone launches a fireball at you or whatever, and you say, wait, you need to make the save, or the enemies need to make the save. So in with your character, usually it's like 10 plus your intelligence modifier if you're playing as a wizard, and then that's your spell save DC. So with the weapon save DC for here, it starts at 8 as opposed to 10 for your
Okay, so
characters. So it
here's what
starts
I'm
at 8.
here's what I'm getting at. I roll for concussion. I do the damage is a 2d8,
Yep.
and then plus the wisdom, which in this case is nothing. So I guess it doesn't get a plus anything off of that.
For
But
your
let's
damage
say,
rolls.
so then what? I just got a 14, so they have to roll a 14 or better.
No. So the saving throw is to see if they take full or half damage, or no damage. That's depending upon how dexterous they are. And then depending on the result, they're going to take what you just rolled, which the damage roll, which each weapon specifies the damage it deals. You roll the damage dice, add the ship's strength modifier um, to damage from primary and secondary weapons. Okay, so not this. Higher quality weapons, other factors. So yeah, what does it say about dealing damage with tertiary? Doesn't say.
Rather than attack rolls, tertiary weapons call for a dexterity saving throw to avoid the
Uh-huh.
weapon's effects. If the target fails the saving throw, they take the weapon's normal damage.
Okay.
On a successful save, they take half of the weapon's normal damage. On a die result of 1, they treat the damage as it be rolled maximum. But that's the thing. That's what I was trying to, like, it's not attack rolls. I get that. I'm not trying
Mm-hmm.
to, like, outdo their DC or their AC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if that's saying that, then that's saying that its normal is what, 8, and then its max is 16. Is that how it's gonna go? Because the concussion does a 2d8, is what it states.
Yes. So it would do it. So the damage that you would roll would be 2d8, and then depending upon how that enemy StarCraft did on their save, if they succeeded or failed, they would take either full damage or half damage. So
Okay,
you'd still
so
roll that. You'd
that's
still roll both dice.
so that's what I was saying because I rolled, and maybe that's the part you didn't notice, is that I rolled 2 7s. I rolled
Okay.
so then that equals out to 14.
Yep.
So then 14 is what they're trying to meet or beat in
No.
order to save it.
No. That's the damage. To meet or beat the save, it's 8 plus the ship's wisdom plus the crew member's proficiency bonus. That's to see if they take full damage or half damage. The damage
Mm,
itself isn't what sets the save.
okay, okay. So then I
It's
have
the
to
ship's
change.
wisdom plus 8 plus the crew proficiency.
So this is their saving throw is wisdom versus DC power 8,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, then I have
Or
to put the.
yeah, you would just put down that like the yeah,
Well,
it's
they okay. So in the attack thing, that it states that there's a saving throw thing to check box off, and so I'm just trying to make
yeah.
sure that I have it written in right.
Okay. Yep.
So because I don't know what I'm doing for, I know I screwed up when I first did mine, so that's why I'm trying to figure out
Mm-hmm.
how it works and how to be able to write it in properly. So in a saving throw, it's Wisdom versus DC Power 8.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the damage is a 2d8 plus Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so then, sorry that took so long, but I think I got the concussives.
You're good. You're good. Um,
Let's see how that pops up. What the fuck? What just happened? What is that?
what is what?
Syntax error?
That's strange.
Did you see that pop up?
No. I just clicked onto the character sheet and clicked off of it. That's all I did, is I wanted to see what you were doing.
No, something messed up because when I tried to roll it, it comes up with a syntax error. Expected blah blah
Oh.
blah 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 blah. Can you roll it and see?
There you go. I see you just rolled there. You just rolled a 14. And then, okay, let me go here. Go like this. Oh yeah, syntax error. Got that as well. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Maybe just a flat 8. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. That fixed it. I think as opposed to power, I just put it to flat on the when I was editing it. So the saving throw is wisdom plus DC flat 8. And then, of course, the plus crew proficiency.
Is that what it's gonna have to be? It says wisdom plus 8 plus wisdom plus crew proficiency. It just seems off with the verses in there, I think. Because wouldn't it be whatever theirs is versus our wisdom plus 8?
So the ship that's making the attack, depending on how good the ship is, it's going to make a better attack. So it's for the concussion missiles, the ship basically can better guide the missiles when it's making an attack. So then comes down to the other ship to see if it can evade the missiles. So it makes actually not a wisdom, it makes a dexterity. Wait a minute. Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. It makes a
Because it's one versus the other, so
mm-hmm.
well, it becomes an equation at that point. It'd be dexterity versus DC wisdom plus 8 if it's supposed to be a plus, because that's what we were talking about, and then we would have to put in the description at the top there about the plus crew proficiency, so that it's noted that it would have to add that before the saving throw.
Mm-hmm. So then
I
when we go
think.
here, and I go back here, close this up, do the roll. There we go, it showed that. So now then, it's a DC of 8. It showed that instead. DC 8, wisdom save, half damage. And that is the wisdom. So I had that right the first time. So that way it shows it there. And this has a wisdom of 0. This also had a dexterity. That's strange.
I mean, the ship is supposed to be very dexterous.
See, there it calls it out for that. There it calls it out for a dexterity save. Yep, so yeah, I do need to change that. So yeah, underneath the damage for the concussive missiles, it needs to be dexterity. That's the save that they need to make. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I've got it right now. So when I click on it and I check in the chat box, okay, I'm going to do 10 damage. Now then, I can look at this and I can see that on a DC 8, currently, we haven't adjusted enough. We're going to be adjusting more stuff. But on a DC 8 dexterity save, I would take half damage. That's how I would know what to look at. So in the character sheet, when we go underneath the concussive missile and we see the saving throw, it's the saving throw that your target needs to make. That you look at those modifiers.
Saving throw
So
your target
it
has
would
to make.
be mm-hmm. There we go. Yep. Got it right. And so then it figures out the DC of 8 because it's looking at the wisdom modifier. That's how it's calculating that DC of 8 right now. Mm-hmm.
Did you add a wisdom to it to see if it changed?
I can do that real quick. Let's make it 12 for science. And
Yes.
then click that.
Let me close out of it.
DC 8. Hmm. It did change the damage because I see it says 2d8 plus 1 because of the plus 1 from wisdom, but it didn't change the DC. It still says the DC 8. What if I did that? Change it to it. Why did it change it to 12? What made it 12? I changed the. Oh, it took that away. Just a flat.
Well, no.
Hmm. Dexterity should give it that. Hmm.
Do we have two separate things now for it?
Oh, we might.
Oh,
Hmm. Yeah,
I
we
just
do.
accidentally clicked. We do?
Yeah, there's
How the hell do I?
two. Oops, sorry. Um. Let me see here. Oh wait, no, no, it's not two separate
It's
things.
just how you click on it to be able to
Yeah.
basically test it while you're on it.
Mhm.
Um, is it because we have damage and saving throw on? Can't be it, right?
No, that wouldn't be it. See, the last one I just rolled gave it back to 8 because it's setting it the DC flat. So if I set it to wisdom, it's just gonna make that 12 like I rolled last time. Or yeah, like the one that I rolled last time.
But
So it'll
how
put
is
it
it
back to
getting the
12
12?
because my wisdom is 12. Because my
So it
wisdom
adds
score is
in.
12. Yeah, I know. Dex versus DC wisdom. Can't I add in more stuff? Maybe if.
So then what's up with the
Oh,
plus 8
never
thing?
mind. Yeah, I know.
8 plus wisdom plus crew proficiency. Maybe the 8's not.
Hmm.
Oh. Let's go find that bit about the ship by ship. That's where you got it from, the step-by-step thing.
Okay.
Rank.
Step 3 comes with a suite at no cost, exterior protection. Okay, let's see here. Fix hardpoint with a missile launcher that is loaded with concussion missiles. The missile saving throw has a DC equal to 8 plus the ship's wisdom modifier plus 1 and the ship's proficiency bonus plus 3. We note that the quad laser... Okay, that's all that I mentioned about it. When making the attack roll... Okay, 2 hardpoints, traditional laser cannons equipped to them.
The missile saving throw has a DC bonus plus 3.
Didn't really clear up anything, at least for me.
It looks like it's supposed to be the missile has a base of 8.
Yeah.
And it adds in the wisdom modifier, which is supposed to be a plus 1. And then in this case, the crew's proficiency bonus of plus 3. So essentially, it should have done 12. But that's because the crew proficiency was a plus 3.
Yeah.
So then how are we getting...
Yeah, how are we getting our numbers?
11. See, that came up 5 higher than the other one.
Five higher.
You
For
got a
what?
DC 12. You got a DC 12 off that last roll.
Yeah, because I
With
put
a 13.
the put the saving throw to just wisdom. As opposed to if I put it flat, it'll put it to 8 and I can adjust that number to whatever I want because it'll just be a flat amount. It's like there should be another couple of things here. Like there needs to be more options added onto this. The DC wisdom or like 8 plus wisdom plus crew proficiency plus 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 and keep adding more things, but it doesn't have that.
The only
I
thing I can
mean,
think of is just adding it to either the description or...
or is it manually doing so at the moment with the wisdom, so it would actually put it at 9 at the moment. It would put it to 9.
Right,
And I just
put
did
in
that
straight
just to,
flat, and
yeah,
then just add in plus crew proficiency plus, um, what is
yep.
that, uh, modifier, wisdom modifier.
Wait, it's 1. So then I just did basically I just manually put in or I manually calculated in when I put it to flat. I
Hmm.
just did 8 plus 1, which is 9. So I just put in the flat 9.
I guess I'm just concerned about doing that and then not
Right.
remembering
Right.
to change it. We've already come to the situation where we've forgotten to make Luke take his turn, or something of the
There's
sort.
a
So I
lot of
feel like
things.
that's going to end up... it's an easy stopgap to use in the beginning for those temporary fixes, but after that we're going to end up forgetting about these temporary fixes and not adjusting to what we need it to be. So I think just the honest, like the easiest part, I think it should just be put in as plus wisdom modifier, right? That's what you would name it? Modifier?
Yes.
Motherfucker.
Hmm.
Unless it disappeared somewhere. Oh, I didn't.
So this is where, like, having it, like I mentioned before, where you're sitting around the table and you got your character sheets and you got everything written out. You can just write down this stuff and you wouldn't have to type out all of it and fit it into a thing. Okay, yeah, I see that.
Honestly,
Crew proficiency plus with, I see where you typed that out now, yeah.
so then we would take that and we would just add that to that DC8 that you were talking
Mm-hmm.
about.
Yep,
Or
yep.
that 8, that just the straight 8.
Yep, the base 8.
Yeah. And then that wouldn't be too hard because at this point we know it's a 1 plus whatever the crew proficiency would give.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And in their example, it was a +3 for crew proficiency, but
Mm-hmm. Which I want to look up how it equates crew proficiency. Okay.
look at us go. Soon we'll be so proficient at this. I'll be like, ha, space combat.
Starship rule
Really
customization
nerd.
options proficiency bonus. Let's try it. Ships do not have a proficiency bonus. When a feature refers a proficiency bonus, instead use the proficiency bonus of the appropriate crew member as long as the crew member has at least one deployment rank. Rather than having a separate proficiency bonus for the ship and ground portions of your game, your proficiency bonus for space is the same that of the ground. So it comes down to your character level. So
Our
your character that
character's proficiency.
yeah, your character would have a proficiency of 2. So if the ship is proficient and you have one deployment rank in what you're trying to do, you add your proficiency, which right now would be +2.
Right. So it's our proficiency. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Look at us go figuring stuff out. Okay.
So honestly, just means that we can turn on. No.
Hmm.
So then, are we just going to use it as the proficiency of the ship? Then, like in this case,
Oh,
the only person that would really be the effective change would be the fact that Han Solo probably has a higher efficiency or expertise in something in order to give him proficiency. But
uh-huh.
if that's the case, then we could actually modify this to state the proficiency on it.
Mm.
Wait, maybe not.
Mm.
I
Mm.
was looking at the attack roll, and it has that proficiency
Yeah.
thing.
Because yeah, it's not making the attack rolls, making that. Yeah, yeah. The more I'm seeing that this character sheet isn't very conducive to starships.
No. Just means we'll have to get a little bit more creative.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fantastic concussion missiles. Which in that
Wow, we
that
got one of the weapons.
we got one of the weapons. Yeah, almost half an hour later, we figured out the concussion missiles.
Territory weapons in general.
Uh-huh. Ugh.
No,
And
this is good though. This is good. This
yeah.
is how we figure it out because we would
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, I'm trying to use this, and then we'd spend,
Half
you
an
know,
hour in combat, yeah.
trying to
Trying to
figure it
figure
out.
out. Yeah. And you see the concussion missiles are located in towards the front of the ship. It's like when I'm looking at the interior layout
Yeah.
design. It's kind of cool.
I can't remember if they were on the actual like the two prong points of the ship or if they were on the inside middle
Right.
spot because I remember them firing them off in episode 6.
Yeah. It looks like actually the two prong parts that stick out are a tractor beam projector and passive sensor antennas.
Oh,
And they have an anti-concussion field generator as well on wait a minute. Yeah, 32. Where's 30? Yeah, 32. There's one on each side. That's cool.
okay, that makes kind of sense. Kind of like a dampener kind of thing or something.
Yeah. Deflector shield generator 31.
I
Probably gonna have
wonder if
multiples of
that's an
those.
item that will protect us from having to make the Constitution saving throw from concussive weapons like this or explosive weapons.
It could be. Oh,
Because
this
the
ship has
concussive thing. Yep.
escape pods in it. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you saw that.
No, I'm just kind of looking through the list now. I seen it and I was just like, oh, this
Honestly,
looks pretty. And that's about as far as I got.
honestly, and for shame for you, shame on you. You should have known it did anyway.
Oh, I know.
It
It's
showed up in
bad.
episode 4. They talk about it.
You know, you need to be more quiet.
Yeah, I believe when they were bringing it in from the or when they tractor beamed it in, they stated that the crew had jettisoned all
Oh,
the escape pods from the
yes.
ship, and viewing its flight records, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh. That's right. And then they hid in the compartments, and that's why they
Yep,
thought there's nobody on the ship because they did all the escape pods.
yep.
Mm.
So again, shame on you.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I
I'm
missed
just
a
joking.
couple of lines of dialogue. Ugh.
Uh, yeah, you're lucky. I almost made my character named TK421.
Oh, why would you do that?
TK421. Why aren't you at your position? TK421. It's supposed to be one of the guys that Han Solo knocked out
Yes,
on the
yes.
Death Star.
Uh-huh. Everything's fine here, and everything's fine. Just what does he say?
Slight
Weapon
weapons malfunction.
malfunction.
Yeah, no, it's actually before that. It's when they were on the Millennium Falcon. He was the guy calling from the observation post down. He's
Uh-huh.
calling out to TK421, and he's asking why the trooper isn't at their position. And
Right,
then
and
he
he like
comes.
knocks on
That's
his
when the
helmet.
loop. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's like, ah, we got a slight communication problem. Blah blah blah. Gonna go check it out. And
And then
somehow
Chewbacca.
they're already there. Like, how long ago did you not check on that dude? Like, how long
Surprise
before you're
Wookiee.
like, yo, bro, what the fuck? In the Death Star, surprise Wookiee.
Right, surprise Wookiee.
All humans and a few droids, surprise Wookiee.
Surprise
Dude,
Wookiee.
that his stealth or his deception on the matter, like they were somehow able to just be like, yep,
Yep.
We're just taking Wookiee prisoners on the
Wookiee prisoners.
on a super secret Death Star station that hasn't been revealed to the public yet.
Right. Ugh.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much now that I just sit here and dissect it.
Hmm.
It's so ridiculous.
Oh, that's like most of episode 4. Like, there I've watched like I don't think it's not. There's a couple of like super popular um videos on YouTube that nitpick the Star Wars films like to oblivion, and there's like I think it's what is it? It's not film critic. What is it?
The only saving grace to that whole bit,
Cinema
the
Sins.
I was like to this whole bit at all, the whole thing that we're discussing at this very moment,
Uh
is
huh.
the fact that Grand Moff Tarkin and Vader were basically planning this from the get-go. They
Yeah.
wanted someone to break her out, and
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of hoping, and so they probably were really trying to avoid the whole situation. So while some were up in command, they
Uh
knew
huh.
exactly what was happening, and they were just like,
Right.
no, no, no,
Maybe we
just
bide our
move,
time.
move the security forces this way.
Right.
And then you have Obi-Wan too at the same time, so then it caused, and
A little bit of chaos.
they were like, God damn it,
Right.
yeah, added even more to the chaos. It's the only defensive thing I could think of in the offense of there's a Wookiee,
You're
and
right.
where are you taking this prisoner?
Yeah, to
You were
the
very
holding block.
assumption, yeah, like immediately. Well, of course I'm gonna be taking it to the holding block. It's a prisoner, of
Right.
course.
Right.
Like
On which floor?
cell
Yes.
block 118.
Yeah.
What was it, 1138 or some shit like that? And
Something
everybody's
like
like,
that.
I think that was the cell block for the princess, or right next to the princess, or something. I don't know.
Hmm. Um, but those videos that like completely tear apart those films, they're like, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's like sci-fi, gimmicky, like this wouldn't have actually happened, or even like uh episode 4 at the very beginning when C3PO and R2D2 escape on the in the escape pod and they go to Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one cut that like shows like must have been like a gunner's post or something like that, and they
Oh,
like go to aim and shoot at the escape pod, but then the officer like holds them off, saying that there's no life forms detected. It's like, why still wouldn't you just blow it up? Like, just shoot it. Who cares? But it's like, so, and then I seen like a Facebook meme or something like that, and it was like actually like constructively thinking about it. That means there were other escape pods with life forms on them that were escaping, and that they had to prioritize which escape pods to shoot because there were so many of them or whatever. And it's like, oh, kind of sinks in a little bit. You're like, oh yeah, they didn't shoot that one because that was distracting from another escape pod or whatever. Like, yeah.
yeah. There's quite a bit to that.
But I do thoroughly enjoy the people who say like the stormtroopers have bad aim, but it was because people didn't understand that they wanted them to escape and that they didn't want to kill Luke, Han, and Chewbacca, and like they didn't want to kill them because they wanted them to escape, and then that just perpetuated. They even mention it in the movie, like as they're escaping, they're like, "I'm sure hope your plan works" or whatever. We're taking,
Yeah,
or what does Tarkin say? We're taking an
we're
awful
taking an
risk.
awfully big risk.
Yeah,
Basically, let them walk away with the plans because they figured they could just blow them up. That was
pretty
a
much.
gamble.
Yeah. I was like,
So
"Oh, they won't find a flaw in our station or whatever." They're
yeah, and then like what is it? Like, well, let's assume a couple days later, sir, we've analyzed their attack plan. We found a weakness in them. You're
fire
telling me
whoever was that said there wasn't a weakness. I don't
Yeah,
care
are
if
you
he's gonna
telling me
die in
no
five
one
minutes.
thought about that exhaust? They must have thought about that exhaust port because they had all those weapon emplacements. But how did they not consider the fact of like a small like one man fighters not doing it? Did they really think they had that much weapon power? I guess if you think about it in a fanatical way, like you'd have to be so desperate in trying
Right.
to fly through that to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing that makes sense. And normal fighters in the Empire didn't have shields, which
Right.
made no sense to me compared to the T-65 or other ships of its type that do have some kind of small personal shield.
I think the main thing was the price. They could just pump out TIE fighters because you didn't have to have, and then that power, the power that was saved that would have gone to the shields went to, um,
What?
uh,
It doesn't have hyperdrive either. They're all
right.
subspace fighters.
So they
So
could
that
make them even cheaper. No hyperdrive, no shield, just a bubble with some guns. You can mass produce the crap out of them.
you I mean, yeah, I guess the
Overwhelming
big
force, I think.
yeah, the big thing with there would be the either overwhelming force or just because you didn't have a threat, like you are the, you know,
See,
because
now you're
I
getting
mean,
into the Empire wasn't the bad guy.
well, that's what I'm trying to like. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why would you have a weaponry that was so much inferior when you had stuff like the AT-AT that was one of the most um, powerful land units of its time, and
Oh
you have
yeah.
like the Star Destroyer, and you need backup for these ships, so you put, you know, they
Mm-hmm.
make the TIE Interceptor late. The TIE Interceptor isn't like the same thing, so what they mass produce an interceptor that has no shield, but then they make the TIE Defender and the TIE
Right.
Phantom that do have shields and stealthing technology, while still having
Mm-hmm.
quad laser or multi laser, um, not quad laser, but they're laser cannons.
Yeah,
It's meant
they're twin
specifically to
linked.
fight, to specifically beat,
Mm-hmm.
ships. I'm like, okay, I got some questions because it's not like the Rebel Alliance had a whole bunch of money. They're literally a rebel group. Like they're barely funding themselves. So they have to be stealing this technology or acquiring it through donations, charity, or whatever be the case. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was there was a mission on Empire at War where you had to go and steal Incom T-65s from the Wayland facility, I believe. Was it Wayland? It was one of the facilities, like a secret
Mm-hmm.
facility.
Yeah, Wayland
They
was
were.
one of those. Yeah.
It just didn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes because Wayland came up in other places as a complete secret facility that was not shown on any star maps, and it had a secret Imperial vault on it. So I'm like kind of leery about
Mm-hmm.
how the lore works on Wayland.
It's one way to one person and one way to another person.
Yeah, because what was it? I think it actually shows up in the Admiral Thrawn series. Wayland does as a secret vault that had like
Makes sense.
cloning facilities. It actually held the hand of Luke Skywalker in it, and
What?
yeah, from what that he lost on Bespin.
Uh-huh.
So they were able to clone Luke Skywalker,
Oh.
and he had the original blue lightsaber. In
Oh.
fact, that was one of the cover arts is Luke Skywalker versus like Mara Jade or something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they get married.
I don't know if that happens in that series. Maybe in
I
one of
don't think
them,
so.
because
I don't think in
I
that
know
series.
there's the Jedi Academy
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
That was the
It's kind
one
of like
that
that.
I read. I think I read like I want to say like 8 of those books. The Jedi, or no, it wasn't Jedi. New Republic, that series. I think I read like 8 or 9 of those books. That was like the
Yes.
one like series of books that I read
Hmm.
in like high school, middle school era. That I was like, oh, I can't put this book down. I like never did that with any other books.
If I remember, and I didn't read them um, myself, but I remember in some about the Jedi Academy stuff was like the niece and nephew of Luke from Han Solo and Leia, and
Yep,
then Chewbacca's kid.
Ben and Anakin, I think, is what their names were. I think. No. One of them started with a J. Jaden?
I don't remember. I do remember that there was
Mm.
also a, like I said, Chewbacca's kid was supposed to be in the group
Uh,
as well. Um,
yes.
and I was really excited about the whole idea of it because he supposedly had, in 7, he had supposedly tried to create an academy. And the forlorning idea
Right.
that he created an academy and, someone like Grogu or someone was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be, you know, so
A
I
part of
was like,
that.
oh, they might make his attempt at an academy. And the last person that he ever did train was basically his nephew,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
meaning that there
I
was
thought for
others who were
sure.
trained in that.
I thought for sure they were gonna mention that kind of stuff. But I was kind of sad that they basically retconned all of the legends and with involving that. They're like, oh yeah, actually it's Kylo Ren. No, it's like I'm like, oh, like they kind of worked with because
Isn't his
uh
actual name Ben?
yes.
He just went by Kylo Ren because it's supposed to be the evil, blah, 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 like Darth, but he's not a Darth.
Right. Um but I think I do believe it's Jaden Solo that he goes bad and he turns and he names himself like Darth something. Um nope, that's not it. Yep. Ben Solo. Yep, became Kylo Ren. Now I wonder, can I look up the non-canon? I bet you if I look up. It was Jason Solo. That's who it was. Okay, so yeah, Jason Solo was the one that he turned to the dark side. Darth um, Cadus. That's what it is. Darth Cadus. Yep, there it is. That's right. That's who I think they kind of based Kylo Ren after, was that it was like, oh, there's in the legends he turns to the dark side, so we're gonna make Ben Solo actually turn into Kylo Ren. He'll be evil. Anyway.
Alright, so let's go moving on to the quad laser cannon times 2. So we want to type this in as straight up as quad laser cannon times 2.
Mm-hmm. Because that ship has got. See, that's number 23. Yep, quad laser turret. And I remember that there was like there were two of them.
Yeah,
There
well,
was
there's
like
a
an
top and
upper
a bottom.
and a
Yeah,
bottom. Yeah.
yes. So it's nice for the fact that the ship can fire in uh, both of those. And if you do think about it, since it's a turret, it can make a 360 arc
Mm-hmm.
across everything, which means that the only small little plane of existence which that you can't hit is essentially the ship. You should be able to both fire forward and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
In order to hit the same target, you either have to be facing or directly. It's either you're facing it or 180 degrees, like
Right.
you're in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the point of the z-axis location of where things are located would be the
Mm-hmm.
interesting, because right now we're doing it on a 2D plane, whereas this ship can
Right.
actually fire on a 4D plane.
Mm-hmm. Or 3D.
Yeah,
We're not. We're
technically
not.
3D. 4D is not. It's based on time.
Yeah, we're not gonna mess with time. I mean, unless if there was like delivering a pack, like a payload, like if you filled an escape pod full of explosives and you sent it towards a transport ship or whatever. We're like, okay, yeah, the escape pod's gonna move at so many feet per turn. You can launch the escape pod and it's gonna move or whatever. But like if it's like a missile or whatever, and it's like got a range, I will just make it instant. That kind of
Yeah,
deal.
it has
Yeah.
to be the ship as long as the ship is within the range
Mhm.
of the thing.
Mhm. So that would get to be a bit
Um,
too much.
So usually attacks are based off wisdom, uh, proficiency, or no, proficiency is wisdom. No, it's not.
No, proficiency is based on the level
So,
of the person shooting.
well, let's get the other stuff done first. Well, since I'm at the quad
Mhm.
laser cannon. Range, yeah, that's incredible. I'm gonna put 360 arc, right? That's what
Yes.
you do?
Mhm. Mhm. Or you put down unlimited firing arc.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Mhm.
Unlimited firing arc.
That's the term that is used.
Damage is a 2 for energy. Constitution, Rapid 2, Overheat. So the turret has a Constitution life?
I remember reading that. Nope,
Or if it's a
this
hard
here.
point, that kind of makes sense.
So you have this was underneath weapon properties. Constitution. A weapon that has this special property requires more hull structure to securely hold and use more cooling capacity to safely operate. When firing, you have disadvantage on attack rolls unless you meet the Constitution requirement. The quad laser cannons take a has a Constitution of 13. Look at that. So yeah, we'd have to make sure that we increase the Constitution score. It does have a Constitution score of 13, so we're good.
I'd say it had Overheat, Constitution, and Rapid.
Rapid 2.
I'm copying and pasting with the definitions of each one are when I
Yeah.
post it into the thing, so that way it's just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
descriptive right then and there. And I'm trying to take out anything, like, if it's trying to give a helpful tip on, like, if the DC is this, you know, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah.
Yeah, I've been doing that too, where like I've been adding into OneNote the different things as we've been going along and in my free time. That kind of slowly chip away at. It at least helps me. Ooh, getting tired already. It helps me better understand the the game when I take the time to read through it and then I copy paste look at each section by I think it's mostly when I look at each section by itself when I understand as opposed to it being a big old block of text because scrolling through the player handbook or the Starships of the Galaxy like the main page and it's just all text all information the whole way just like a non-fiction book without any pictures. It's just straight information. It gets to be a bit overwhelming for me. So I will copy paste into a OneNote and then I can read through it, look at it, understand it, and then later I can search for it on OneNote.
So, the damage is also based on wisdom, isn't it?
That is based on strength.
Strength.
Yes.
Wait, did I do that on the other one? I think the other one,
N-
on the concussive, I
no,
did it on wisdom.
because hold up
Yeah, I
right
have the
here.
2d8 plus wisdom, and that's probably why it was coming up with a slightly different number. Not based off the strength. Or on the concussive.
But that was the problem where we were kind of flip flopping back and forth. That the hold
So
on.
the attack roll is going to be based off the wisdom because it's what the AC, it faces off against the AC, the dex. So yeah, it would be the same way. If we're doing it what you're talking about, then it's based off the wisdom
Mhm.
for the attack, and then the damage would be based off the strength.
Mhm.
So I think then the only thing would be to the description of the overheat and the rapid 2, which if you know if you just use the base description of 1, So let's try this out. So it pops up with 2. Wait, is that because
Damage
of the...
rolls. Each ship weapon specifies the damage it deals. You roll the damage dice. Add the ship's strength modifier to damage from primary and secondary weapons, and apply the damage to your target.
And
That's
do
to
I have
the
it set to
damage.
advantage? Is this set to advantage right now?
Let me see here. Oh yeah, I need to adjust that. I don't know why it does that. Alright, I guess it's normal. It automatically puts it to automatic advantage, or always advantage. I don't know why it does that. It's so
It's
stupid.
still set to... Right again. There we go. See, I could put in, I guess, the overheat or the number right after each of the things. I'm gonna do that real quick. Rapid,
Mm-hmm.
2, Constitution, 13, overheat. I believe it was 8. All right. So I added it not only to the uh, weapons attack description. So if we re-roll it,
Oh, wait a minute.
there we go.
Yep, overheat 8, rapid 2. Yep, quad laser
Okay, so
cannon. Okay.
yep. This way it adds it on there, and it also added. I added it to the what is that? The features of the ship under
Okay.
the quad laser.
Mm-hmm.
You spelled laser wrong, by the way, on there.
Sorry.
And then we have it listed for the missile launcher under the features as well. I don't know if we have that listed under the. So we do not. So, but those are rapid one burst ones. So I'll just change that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
One burst. One. So does that mean we have to reload the missile launchers, or do they automatically reload? No, it's after 4, isn't it? I think there was something on there that stated that you could fire
Let's see
4
here.
of them before reloading something.
Auto concussion missile.
I think it had to deal specifically with the missile launcher.
Mm-hmm. It did. Specifically the missile launcher.
Because I remember when we looked that up, it showed something about ammunition reload, and then the description on the ship itself
Yeah,
stated
reload.
something about reload 8, or it can fire up to 8 shots before reloading, which I thought was interesting since the reload on the other one stated 4,
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
see, there's assault missile launcher, and then there's this missile launcher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why or what the difference is, but they both cost the same.
I thought that maybe one needed the prerequisite of the other. I didn't know because I would assume you can't have an assault.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something more beyond that if we look in the equipment. But first, I want to check out the um, Millennium Falcon's thing because it's stated. Yeah, in here it says. Uh, We note that the quad laser cannons have an unlimited firing arc, do 2d4 plus 3 energy, have a range, blah blah, can fire rapid mode and overheat. after shooting 8 shots. The concussion missiles have an unlimited firing arc, having range, blah blah blah. These Falcon can fire 8 missiles before needing to be reloaded, and then these missiles have the explosive feature which will force the concentration checks by characters on affected ships. The 8 missiles being fired before reloading, and then the fact that it states in the equipment that the missile launcher itself only has a reload of 4 makes me assume that there was 2 sets of missile launchers on the damn thing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's you throw me off there, thing, by trying to tell me something else, unless you gain more based on the people.
Right, that's starship weapon.
A limited number of shots can be made with a weapon that has the reload property. A crew member must then reload it. Reloading a weapon takes 1 minute per ammunition.
1 minute?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So basically, you're not wanting to do that. Unless you could have a way to be able to reduce that time for yourself. I'm assuming there must be a way to reduce that time.
Oh gosh, why would it take a whole minute? Like, I get it taking a little bit of time.
And especially if it's one person. Wait a minute, that's actually... Would it take 30 seconds if 2 crew members did it? Would it go down proportionally by half for each time if another crew member was there to help do it?
Hmm.
Meaning if you had 3, it would take 15 seconds. Even then, that would still take a considerable amount of time. But
Well,
fire
if
ammunition.
you would essentially think if you had one person dedicated to reloading it, right, you could shoot one missile each turn. So if it took a minute, it would mean it would take 10 turns if you shot a missile every other turn. But that's just one miss.
That's
I
because of
don't
the
know.
ship's type. Or the ship's weapon thing and everything.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to figure out it does and it doesn't make any sense. Especially if we're taking it by the ship takes a turn of 3 seconds.
Is it 3? I thought it was always 6.
I don't know for sure. I thought it was the whole round was 6 seconds, and each thing takes 3 seconds. So your ship
Well,
takes 3 seconds, and then the other ship takes 3 seconds.
yeah. Well,
But
everything.
let's
So
double
each
check that.
each round is 6 seconds of time, and everybody does everything within that 6 seconds of time.
Yeah, it
And
represents 6 seconds during a round. Each participant takes battle the order of turns.
mhm.
One of I guess that's kind of why I assumed maybe because it's two sides clashing. Game organizes the chaos of combat into cycle of rounds and turns. A round represents about 6 seconds in the game world. During a round, each participant in battle takes a turn. The order of turns is determined at the beginning of a combat encounter when
Yeah,
everyone rolls
okay.
initiative. Once everyone has taken their turn, the fight continues to the next round if neither side is determined with the others. So that's why I said each turn as an our turn, then their turn, is what I was trying to get
Yeah,
at by that, but I
no.
understand, like, you're just
Mhm.
saying it's 6 seconds as in. Still, that's 10 turns to be able to.
Yeah. To load one missile. Like, I could understand. I mean, the missiles are probably huge, but that's like hand loading. They would set up automatic stuff.
I don't know. I don't know, that all depends on how it is, so let's look at. or missile launchers. Okay, so why doesn't it show any more than the properties being... So the assault one can reload 8, and the normal one only reloads 4. Is a big difference I'm seeing between the two.
Uh-huh.
Between the assault and the standard missile launcher. Right, the cost is the same. Damage is special, which I'm gonna have to go in there and double check what the hell special means. I think part of this is that we're just looking in the rules tab as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, a minute. I mean, those missiles could pack quite a punch.
They
They
do
make
have
the
a lot of like bonuses to them with the burst and the rapid, which the rapid one, it's kind of curious to me
mm-hmm.
because it only fires off the one, right? That's how the rapid works.
Rapid. A weapon has a rapid property can unload on a single target. The target must make a dexterity saving throw. 8 plus your bonus to range ship attacks. On a failed save, the target takes normal weapon damage plus an additional amount equal to the weapon's damage dice. On a success, the target takes no damage. This produces an amount of heat or consume amount of information as indicated by the rapid number. If the ranged ship attack would have disadvantage, the ship has advantage. The target instead has advantage. So yeah, the rapid just basically is like, hey, because it's got the rapid trait, it does extra damage. So it's got yeah, concussion missiles. I mean, oh, that adds on a lot of stuff. You got the burst, you got the rapid,
The explosive.
yeah, the explosive.
I do like how the explosive is supposed to work. Everyone inside the ship has to make a Constitution saving throw to make sure that they basically save on their concentration.
Right. Uh, so yeah, the concussion they pack a punch. So I could see where like that would be to balance out how much damage and how much effect they have. Um, Makes sense that it takes a lot longer to reload, making them a lot more valuable when you shoot them. To go like, yeah, we're shooting one of these, and we're
Okay, so I'm
doing a
gonna
hunk
put
of
in
damage.
reload 4 in the description of the missile launcher, in the traits, or the features,
Okay.
I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we understand that there's supposed to be a 4 reload on the subject. If you want, we might be able to add that into the total concussion missile count in those the class resources or other resources, kind of
Right.
like we do with the power
Yes.
cells. And
Mm-hmm.
then we could target when we're reloaded and when we're not reloaded based on what we
Okay.
have. Um,
So we're gonna call this concussion. Oh, oh, oh.
Because that would
Concussion.
be our different ammunition types too, so that would make
Yeah.
sense if he does have other things.
Spelled that wrong again. Two missiles. Total. We'll just go with this. We'll go 30. I don't know. Let's
You
put
can,
a
yeah,
number.
make up whatever the fuck you want. it's it's the
300.
Falcon.
No, we'll go with 30.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, we're still only working with the tier 0 version.
Right, yeah, we rank this bad boy up. We're gonna add in
Or is this supposed to be tier
bonuses.
5?
Well,
They
that's
have
just
it
what
as
I
a
put
level
in it.
5 gunship. Which I'm not opposed to. I was just curious if that meant it was supposed to be a tier 5 ship, or is it a
Yeah, because you
tier
can't.
0 level 5?
No, um the ships don't have levels, the modifications have levels.
Okay.
So I was just putting the level as tier. I don't think I can um adjust that. Hold on, I'm gonna mess around with the things here a little bit.
I mean, the level 5, the level 5 thing is fine. I was just curious as to what it is. I mean, we are making ships here,
Hmm.
and like I said, we also have to be more creative than normal too, because there's certain things that we just can't do
Hmm.
right. Um, it is interesting that they have the deployment. Like you would think that they would have a specific ship specific um, character creation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or something of the sort, because like we're talking a whole aspect that it's aware of entirely. It
Hmm.
wouldn't add in the deployment feature or rank in here if it wasn't the case. So kind of interesting um, in that aspect. Uh-oh. The session expired for it. Also, we don't have the ship speed or anything located on that either. When I get back in, I'll try it back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm messing around with stuff too. Actually, what if I did? Cause yeah, I wanted to edit token properties. No, 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 no. Hmm.
That's weird. Okay. On
Yeah, I don't think I
attack.
can edit. I can't edit the word level to tier. So,
That's fine. It's not like it was super. I'm just really curious. They don't have like its own character sheet made for the ships itself.
right.
Um, Seeing as they have deployment as a thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So go by step. It probably has it located in here. Something about the traveling distance of Millennium Falcon.
Well, you would go by the in.
Oh, the ship's size or whatever, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's technically a gunship freighter.
That's two different rules. Multi-rolling, multi-specializing.
Well, each time it reaches um, ability score
That's a new rule.
improvement, you gain. Alright, so then at second tier, you adopt a particular style of design of your ship. Choose any one of the following. So you gain more um, roles. You can choose from a different role.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how does that work towards the? Because they use different stuff. Like, if I pick the freighter role in the beginning, choose
Mm-hmm.
any one of the from the following, you'd get an adjustment score towards your constitution, armor would
Yep.
become deflection, fuel cell. you know, a
Yep.
couple of those things are
That's
changing, and then you're basically
hmm
re-rolling or multi-rolling your
N
ship at that point.
not necessarily. So when you first
You
make your
gain
ship,
the second tier bonus for the gunship or for the freighter.
okay. So when you first are making the ship, you choose
Yeah,
its base frame. So it
right.
says underneath. So I'm underneath rules Starships of the Galaxy. I'm under the medium tab right now.
Yep,
So the
me too.
first one that shows up, it says role. You make initial design choices for your ship. Choose any one role of the following. So I went
Okay.
down freighter. You get your +1 Constitution. This is like your base. Like when you choose your level 1 for your character. When you choose the um, like if you're making a new um,
Okay,
like
okay,
D&D
okay.
character, you got your level 1 fighter or whatever. You have your adjustments that you make, and then as you go through and you level up, and with this one here, if you scroll down a ways and you get past evasive maneuvers and you get into role specialization, at second tier you adopt a particular style of design for your ship. Choose any one of the following. You gain if you went freighter for your first time, you could choose freighter again, but you
Okay.
gain this particular modification, or you gain this particular style of design, where you gain the storage compartment. Or if you wanted your ship to be a freighter but also more of a missile boat, you could do that where you have starships
Okay.
one or more sizes larger. You have disadvantage on saving throws against
Okay.
your tertiary.
I see
Yeah.
where you're going through
So
here.
then you get
Um,
that, and then later on you get to choose another one at you get role mastery. At fourth tier, you master a particular style of design for your ship. Choose any one of the following, and they're even more different.
I'm going to adjust your um, features then real quick.
Okay.
Medium for we'll do freighter. Roll one, or is it rank? What are they called? They're not
Tiers.
levels. Tiers. Tier one. So I'm gonna put in
hmm
medium freighter tier one. Now, what I'm gonna do is adjust. You have a +1 in Constitution that's descripted there. We're gonna change that to this, which has the +1 Constitution what you're describing. But
Yes.
this puts in all of the information in which you were originally looking for, and then we can take this 300 to 150,
hmm
copy that, and add that to the speed.
hmm That's your speed and turning in that order.
Right. So then we put it in that part right there, and that's supposed to be tier one. And then you have the other part listed on here. You said gunship, right?
Yes.
I do not see.
I don't think I actually put in the information for the gunship.
Okay,
I'm not there.
so we'll just put in gun racial. Put in medium. Tier 2, and then we'll just take what it states from there.
hmm Ship gains a
This,
fixed hard point modification at no cost. Additionally, your ship has a +1 bonus to damage rolls with ship weapons.
yep. I think
Plus
this will
1
help
damage.
kind of further explain how you're going through this and what tier we're coming up from. So if we need to go double check anything, or if for some reason someone else wants to go and take another look gander at it, we can be like, ah, here we go. This is exactly where from
Yep.
SW5E we can find this. We
Yep.
understand now that this is a tier 2 version of the gunship built
Yep.
on the frame of the freighter itself, and essentially just giving yourself um,
Kind
the
of
site.
fact check.
Yeah, the site location, so you
Mm-hmm.
can easily diagnose what this is and where to find it.
Mm-hmm. Why am I getting a +1 damage to rolls? Oh, gunship
Right.
specialization.
Or that you state it like, oh yes, that's right. I actually gained this bonus too because
Mm-hmm.
of this thing. Because that's not going to factor in. Like we could technically factor that in to the ship with that +1 bonus, that or the plus to the bonuses on the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that to tax or
Damage.
to damage? To damage. So yeah, we could technically add that into the damage types. When we have it all
Yes.
figured out, we could just do all the math, add it in,
Mm-hmm.
and then put down something. I don't know if you want to put that down in like maybe not bonds or something or bio or just maybe in your own personal notes that we have the added up number that it's supposed to be at this current time, and then every time we add something to it, we'll just
Mm-hmm.
readjust the number. Or you could readjust the number. It would probably be you and me to
Mm-hmm.
figuring it out. Okay, so it's got a tier 2 gunship. What
Yep.
else do you have for it? Since we're on the mission of making the ultimate Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
We're the most descriptive Falcon we can.
Yes. Okay. So at fourth tier you get um
Whoa, we're on fourth tier. Where's the third tier?
third tier versatile transport crew member makes when a crew
Oh,
member makes with the ship an ability check, attack roll, saving throw. Because yeah, I skipped over a bit. Like
a crew member with the
the
ship.
first in the first tier, well, on each tier there's an ability score improvement. You get additional hull dice and armor class improvements. Yeah, there's a lot with each level up, or with each tier up.
Third tier, when a crew member makes with the ship an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. Use the reaction to have advantage on the roll. The member can choose to use this feature after they make the roll, but before the GM says whether the roll succeeds or fails.
Mhm.
Yeah, yep, this is definitely something that we're going to want to add in
Mhm.
as a thing, because this is something that we would be asking about, like me and my Defiant, not
Mhm.
realizing how to use my Defiant in the right way. Like I want to use my Defiant to like. At one point, I wanted to use it on Kibo, but we weren't exactly friendly, but we weren't exactly against each other, and there wasn't like a good time to use it. There was also a
Right.
few times where I was like, I don't know how long before this is another short rest will come along. This may be a major conflict, but when we come back, we just got on a fight. There's been no short rest, you
Right.
know? So now I'm going to be going into space conflict, not having that Defiant that might be able to assist.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's my, I guess not trying to save to the end kind of thing, but
Mhm.
let's see, called versatile transport.
Mhm.
Add half its wait, nimble starship. Second tier, you can add half its dexterity modifier minimum of 1 to any saving throw it makes that doesn't already include that modifier. Son of a bitch. Okay. Couple things I need to add, but we'll go with the versatile transport first. What are you thinking? You're talking about the tier. You got the tier 4 as well, right?
Mhm. So I was just looking at the courier. Ship gains the backup hyperdrive modification at no cost, which the Millennium Falcon does have a backup hyperdrive. Any installed hyperdrive operates as one of the next faster class. If you have a class zero point 0.5 installed, it acts as a zero point 0.4, making it even faster, which
That
to
would
me
make sense.
makes sense. I haven't looked at any of the other ones yet, but that one, at least to me, makes the most sense.
So the big question about that one, for me, is what would the second class or the second one be? Because usually your backup is always worse, and the standard is like, what is it, the 12 or whatever that we were looking at for the Quasar?
Mm-hmm. The backup hyperdrive, what tier that would
Hmm.
be at?
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's a point 0.5, it might be like a 3 or something
that
like
would still
that,
be
or
insanely
4.
fast.
It's just, yeah, insanely fast. So,
Um,
oh gosh, there's a couple of these. Nibble Starship, we need to add that, right?
yeah, there's some
That's
stuff that we've skipped over.
pulled together. That's such a perfect fitting thing for this.
It really is.
Tier 3. I'll add 0 construction saving throw instead of an automatic failing. Huh. So protecting itself from death is basically tier 3, or else you couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. When being attacked, just like how if you were to
Well,
hit,
it
if
says
you were to go,
when your ship takes damage while at 0 hull points. So not
yeah,
even when being attacked, meaning that
right,
if there was
when taking,
environmental effects or
yeah,
if you were to fucking accidentally run into something,
mm-hmm,
where or
right. Oh,
they freak accident, or you're in a comet, you're in an asteroid field, like. Nah, you're in real trouble. Are you actually making a lot of saving throws, or are you gonna make a lot of, you know?
mm-hmm.
You've been eaten by a giant space worm. How do you proceed? Okay. So now I'm on to tier 4, role mastery. So you got carrier, freighter, gunship, missile boat, navigator, and yacht. Whew.
I was just reading yacht. You have advantage charisma checks made against those who can see your ship. That sounds like that might be the one. I like the courier is the first one that I would choose. The yacht would be the second one because the hidden cargo compartments. But I'm still leaning more towards the courier because yeah, that to me that makes sense. And then you also get adaptive armor. When your ship is hit with an attack roll, a crew member at the helm can add the ship's constitution modifier to AC, potentially causing the attack to miss. What? This feature can be used a number of times equal to your ship's tier. All expended uses are regained when the ship is refitted. Wow. That's insane. Paragon transport. Two of your ship's
The
abilities also
carrier is
increase up to.
probably the most logical out of
Yeah.
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the only other thing I can think of would be the gunship. The yacht doesn't fully make a lot of sense with it because, like,
Mm-hmm.
the only real thing I can see from the uh, Millennium Falcon is the deception of how bad it looks.
Yeah.
It looks so bad, but it is so amazing. It's like when you
Mm-hmm.
look down the street and you see that shitty Honda, but underneath the hood is actually like a Dodge like Hemi
Yeah.
in there, and you're just like, oh, that thing's with a supercharger. You're like, oh my god, it's an old '90s like Honda Civic like
Mm-hmm.
body frame, but a brand new engine underneath it.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
we
that's
should
the
definitely
most
go with the
logical.
Courier. Definitely go with
The
the
only
Courier.
other the only other thing I can think of is the freighter, just because you can be like because of the cargo. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's still a freighter in its sense.
Yeah.
Gain storage from but that wouldn't make any sense
Right.
because I mean it's not that much like it.
Uh-huh.
I'd say courier would be the most logical for it. And it's a tier 5, right? So it actually
Yeah.
gets the Paragon transport.
Yes. I just put it tier 5 because I was like, it's the Falcon. It's the best ship out there, basically.
The best ship in the verse, also at tier 5, as an action, a crew member can give the ship resistance to unenhanced damage from ship weapons for 1 minute. This effect
Mm-hmm.
ends early if the ship is disabled. Once this feature has been used, it can't be used again until the ship recharges.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be like giving you guys like, hey, this is the nicest ship you could ever possibly have. Now here's your rundown Honda Civic, basically.
Yeah, yeah, it's like just literally like a how-to in any game. Like they're like, hey, play as Darth Vader. Now you play as
Yes.
Star Killer with no abilities. And
You,
you're like,
you know, I was about to
you
make
know
that
what?
reference. Yes.
Okay, so the next one will just be, I call this role mastery. What do I name the other one? Okay. So now we need to add in the backup hyperdrive to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to do the honors
Let's see. We could
of
probably
deciding?
do a like a class 8,000
Ooh.
credits.
Actually, it says it comes free of cost, I believe.
Right. Yeah, I guess
At
I was just reading across the line.
modification at no cost. Yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, we could throw in like a class 8. That's usually the backup. Or yeah, usually yeah. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Remember when it's wait. Yeah, yeah, it did. Doesn't it have a backup hyperdrive?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when C3PO was connected to it, didn't he say something about it? Also, doesn't that make you think about it for a moment? I'm pretty sure in episode 5 they were talking about cyber attacks. They were being hacked because someone messed with the ship's systems, and they talked about how it was messed with again on Bespin. They said there was something wrong with the ship's internal systems.
Right, and Lando said like, yeah, we get the best mechanics in the galaxy or whatever,
Yeah, and then
or in
they
the system.
like C3PO or R2 found out that something was really messed up in the hyperdrive. It was interesting. I'm liking the maybe possible like foreshadowing we could do with stuff like this. Gotta pull my mic away from my face. Keep hitting it with my hand when I'm stroking my beard. Real problem right now.
Yeah. Grab a good old bar out there. Hello, Winston. Hi, Kiki.
This is the tier 5.
Okay. Alrighty.
Uh,
Let's see here. Who are they at war with? There's defending?
who? The Fourth Reich?
Yeah, the Fourth Reich, the Corinth Kingdom, and the Hasukar State. Let's see here. If I pop over this side, they are at war. Oh, they're at war against the Fallen
The
Empire.
Fallen Empire, yep.
Yeah, the Guardians.
How's that going for him?
Let's see here. Where's the Guardians at? Oh,
Right on here.
yeah, they're on their own separate thing.
They're losing. Unless they got a space, unless they got something somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Oh, sorry, I was agreeing with you.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say they've only got 2 spots left right now.
Mm-hmm. They've got a fleet somewhere. They say they got a 200 something fleet out there somewhere.
Oh, it might be coming back.
Oh, is
It
this
might
it
be
all
on
the
a
way?
retreat.
Oh, is this it all the way up here? It might be it. Yeah, there it is. They're currently bombarding the crap out of this Arctic world that has 11 pops left on it.
What? Where?
It's in the north part.
In
Um,
Hesakar State?
yeah, they're just completely shelling with that. Yeah, they're just completely wrecking that.
They're so unconcerned about their home world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that is a pretty impressive defensive strength on their home world.
It is. I was just looking, just
3,244.
scrolling over top of it. Yes.
Holy crap. Can I click on them without, like, joining them? Yeah, okay. This is what's so crazy about them. They basically don't really have jobs for their people. Like, the jobs that they have for their people are literally warriors. Just be
Mm-hmm.
warriors. That's all it is. Protector jobs. Protector jobs and basic, like, mining, food, works. Other than that, they're like, yeah, just be a soldier, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have any clerics right now. You don't even need them.
No, they're making a surplus of 1,600 energy credits.
They're making freaking, what is that? 120 amenities right now from their sky domes. They don't even have to have clerks. They just do it because they need the housing.
Pretty much.
Guys are always so crazy. I feel good when I beat the Fallen Empire. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Who fucking likes you now, bitch? Yeah, you thought you were gonna be top dog on me the entire time? Thought you were gonna try and just impose your difference? Oh, I can't take this star? Fuck you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is that Fallen Empire is they've got one fleet that is stronger than all of their fleets put together, and it's super hard for the AI to put together their fleets to be able to do a coordinated attack. So, and right now they're winning. The Fallen Empire is winning. They have a lot less war exhaustion. They've
Yeah, but
got
that's
way
because
more
of the
attrition, but hardly nothing in the space battles. It's the three defenders that have taken it in the space battles. Hmm.
Sorry, I'm typing in like I want to say a description of the ship, but I'm as a personality trait.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of like to try and give like a visualization. Like what I'm stating is the visible scarring across the ship proves its battles. Uh, um, the ship looks terrible, but the battle marks. But
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Wow,
I mean,
actually, the
this is all
fourth
just
Reich
kind of
is right there. Mostly due to their subject empire bringing in half of the score points. It's crazy.
their
Quarter.
people are making up their points.
The subject empire of the Fourth Reich is what's giving them half of their points.
Who is it? Corinth? Oh, that can't be right.
No, the Hasukar state is the vassal to the Fourth Reich.
Wow, they're just as big as them, not bigger. See, this is why some of these long games would be like crazy fun to see, because like you could like break off different sections of you, or like
Yes.
vasualize certain areas, and then let them just have free like, oh, I can attack these people to gain land or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, yeah, as long as you keep them happy, they'll stay with you. They won't need to break away. So we added all of its tier abilities for the ship. Added a little, basically just another visualization, kind of as a description of it. I don't know if it did anything else. I do see you have a picture for it. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I like it a lot.
Hostile station engaged.
Let's see. Oh, Carillion. Oh, what? I don't know. Was that really considered a background? I was gonna put in Carillion YT 1300, but
Um.
I figured you put that somewhere else. Cause we've already got the Falcon, got the picture of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's really necessary. It's all just flavor for us anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm. We can have that in there for the background. That'd be fine.
E um. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else you want to want to go with it. I thought you added the engine, the spare engine, I believe, or the spare hyperdrive, and I think we needed to add in the escape pods module.
Mm-hmm.
But those are about more flavor that may or may not be necessary. I mean, we'll add them. Maybe they won't be necessary.
Don't
Who
tempt
knows?
me.
Who knows? Maybe they will be necessary.
Hopefully they
But
will
then
be necessary.
after that, like how many
Uh-huh.
of the like flavor ones are gonna be necessary?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotcha.
If we've already added in the weapon armaments, and then the whole point is to try out weapon-based combat. I don't think there's any reason to add the latte machine or the fact that we could play chess on the table.
Right. The holographic game board.
I remember on PlayStation 1 there was a there was a ability to play that game a little bit. I thought it was on like Dark Fury or something like that.
Mm.
I can't remember. I thought it was a PlayStation 1 game. It was kind of like, what was it? Like a side game to the, because of the main thing was like almost like a Mortal Kombat. Hit one person, one character versus another character. I thought. It's been so long. The last time I played something like that I was like a kid, maybe in single or double digits,
Mm-hmm.
playing a game that I was renting from the movie the movie rental place in town.
Right.
It wasn't even like a blockbuster or anything.
Vehicle updated.
let's see. Do you want to test out some base combat?
I'm already
Like a
getting pretty tired.
Z95? I
It's
figured.
almost 2 o'clock. I
I
gotta
see
get
that.
I gotta get up in like 6, 7 hours, get ready for church today.
Yeah.
Take a little bit to fall asleep and then take a little time to wake up, make some coffee and stuff tomorrow or later today, I guess. Um, but yeah, if we don't end up doing a session next Saturday, we should do space combat with the Falcon. I think that would be fun. Um, just to test it out.
I was gonna say, even if it's not with that, and we just did it with like the Z95s
Mm-hmm.
or something.
Yeah. And there's nothing to say that like if we got time in the middle of the week and we just want to test it out and play around with it, we could do it too then too.
Right.
You know, we don't have to have everybody together in order to test it out. So,
It'd help kind of work things out to figure out how things would play.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Do a couple of skirmishes or whatever.
yep, yep.
To be like, okay, so you're in the battlefield and then there's an X-wing that's attacking you or whatever.
Make a couple of those other things like that X303 or the
Mm-hmm.
X304, the BC304. I wanted to share. I think I shared that video to you. I may have been waiting to send it to you.
No, you sent it to me. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll look
Yeah,
at
it's
it
like
again
6 minutes. It's
when we're
basically the guy
doing
going
this.
over some of the stuff. You get to see a little bit of it, like shooting at some of the other ships, and
Oh, cool.
I'd like to find one that actually has the drone technology, like the Starship Atlantis or whatever. When the guy sits in the chair and you get to see all these freaking drones just fly out of the city and they all just swarm on this hive capital ship and just tear the thing apart, and you're just like,
What?
damn. And it's just this one guy who went in and went in and just like you zoned out, like how you were talking about how you kind of zone out because of Waru's like gentle pull of the force
Mm-hmm.
to on you, and you just kind of when you came to, you were, oh, yeah, that's almost like what happens when they go into it. Almost seems like it's that because your like full consciousness is now entering in like the whole defense system. So I assume that it's just easier to make a lead drone, and then
Mm-hmm.
everything follows those lead drones. But I don't know. I have no fucking idea how that worked. It was just a really cool concept.
Right.
I always wanted to make a, I guess in this way I could almost make a D&D game, a thing that incorporated all of the different universes. The Stargate, the Star Wars, the Star Trek, the, you know, all of that stuff. Gundam,
Uh-huh.
uh, and be able to try and like almost travel through these multiverse kind of thing.
Okay.
Is
Mm-hmm.
the original thought was to have a Venator class fleet that was like outfitted with some kind of like jump drive that allowed it to. I guess after watching the Stargate one, it was the 0 point module, EPM,
Mm-hmm.
that they use. And yeah, yeah, just being able to go through and like there would be like different missions where like I didn't even know that there was other missions going on. I think it would be really cool to see like a Gundam show up.
What the heck
Yeah,
is that?
a
Kill it.
mech, a mech. Like
It's a
this is the
robot.
Star Wars. It's the Star Wars universe, but it's your universe.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. That's why if like it was mine, it'd be like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden a 20-something foot mech just shows up, and they're like, wait, what? I know Ryan. He'll be immediately be like, excuse me. Yeah, it seems to be bipedal in nature, carrying around a very large shield in a giant cannon, and it shoots through ships. Actually, it would
It's
probably
got
be
an
a lot.
artillery.
It would probably be a lot different depending on how they were made. For like, if they were first experienced or first introduced into this one,
Uh-huh.
ships in the fucking Gundam series seem to just be total shitbags to any mobile suit of any kind. It's like, oh no, the ship is
Hmm.
just torn to pieces. I want to see a Gundam be like, oh snap, I can't even touch that right away. Like, it has to rely on getting super close, but
Hmm.
or meeting a Star Destroyer for the first time.
That thing's huge. All right.
What the fuck is that? The turbo laser blows away its shield in one shot, and the guy's like, yeah, no, hold on, we gotta
Hmm.
rethink this.
Reconsider the life decisions.
Yeah, but all sorts of things.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
Stargate
yeah.
stuff. No, you didn't watch Stargate. We gotta make you
No.
watch some Stargate. Alright, catch you later, man. I'm giving
Yeah,
you up.
I'm gonna hit the hay, man. I'll probably be on tomorrow afternoon. I'm gonna try to lay low a little bit, and yeah. Depending on what the other guys end up doing, we might end up doing like a skirmish with playing as a souped up Falcon. I do like the idea of like the Force Unleashed, where like, oh yeah, play as Vader, get all the cool abilities, and it's like, okay, now you're Star Killer and you don't even have lightning.
Yes, that
Like,
makes sense.
this
That
is
makes
what you
sense.
could have,
Especially
but not
since if
right
you
now.
craft them from the beginning, or if you buy like a ship, you're
Hmm.
getting it at
Oh, I've
tier
got a
zero
ship in
or
mind
something.
for you guys. I've got a ship in mind for you guys.
Think you have a ship in mind for it.
Uh-huh. Depends on what you guys end up doing.
Yes.
Yeah. You join the rebellion. They're like, here, you guys get uh oh, what is it? The CR-90 or whatever. You're like, just like this ship that doesn't have any guns. Or has like one gun on the front. Hmm. Yeah. I do that too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to work on all that. I didn't put them onto their character sheet. No, not yet. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't have them like I didn't really know exactly like I need to go through and read the different deployments and see what exactly they do because they are different. And so and it's like they're like whole other classes and I'm like, ooh, I'm just trying to figure out the Sentinel. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We could try it out later. Anyway, I really need to go to sleep, man.